You know what climate justice is? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I think the climate justice is kind of making sure that resources like clean air and clean water, as well as like land reform, and just kind of on the fundamental level of government things, and just, yeah, I think that encompasses it, as well as kind of everyday things that we do, and yeah.
What does climate justice mean to you?
Peace. Yeah, I think amongst other things, it means peace.
Justice mean to you?
Climate justice is the intersection of the environment and social justice. It means taking care of the environment and combating climate change in a way that also deals with social issues and people affected by climate change on a social level.
Climate justice means social justice because I believe climate justice really does intersect with a lot of other social issues, and who it affects really does depend on your standpoint within society. And
fighting for change in the environment and like to fix the environment, but also to fix the effects that it has on people, because it's all interlinked with different social issues.
How much does climate change affect you on a daily basis?
I think a lot more than I realize and understand. I think for me, the first thing that I can see is how it already in a society with such a large wealth gap, I'm able to understand in that context more, because it's obviously the richer the more wealthy, who will be able to bid for resources as they become more scarce and of less good quality.
I think it affects all of us, including myself, a lot, like just thinking about what we take in on a normal day, but also I think it affects different people, different amounts, and often the ones who are like more affected is because of the actions of the ones who are less affected.
How does climate change make you feel in terms of anxiety or stress?
I think in terms of anxiety and stress, I'm more scared for like my generation and future generations having to deal with all the effects. But even more than anxiety, I'm more just like angry with past generations for not listening to the science behind climate change and making the change that they should have done like years ago.
Really anxious. I was talking to my dad about this last night, and I started crying because it's just a really freaky thing to think about. I think we all have hopes and dreams for our future, and we all stress out about things, but this is another level to that, and it's something that we feel more imminent.
knowing that perpetrators of climate change are not taking accountability for the work, it just makes me feel even more hopeless for people who are getting most affected.
What steps do you think can be taken to combat climate change to achieve climate justice?
I think the first step that needs to be taken is the understanding of the masses that climate change is the fault of large corporations, and it's not something that was caused by individuals, nor is something that can be fixed by that. That being said, I think the first step that needs to be taken is more people understanding the severity of climate change, and then implementing policies within government such as renewable energy sources and protecting endangered species.
Hold corporations accountable, because they are like the largest offenders in terms of climate change through like greenhouse gas emissions and like not getting rid of waste properly. So if we hold them accountable, I think it'll be much easier to like then go through other steps like bringing the issues to a forefront, like I said before, and also like providing aid to victims of climate change, people who have been in droughts or floods.
How do you think we should combat climate change and push for climate action?
I think that climate action is a multifaceted thing, so we have to do it on the kind of personal level of us incorporating things into our daily routine, like not driving to school or stuff like that, and those kind of daily things that we can incorporate, as well as on the fundamental level within governments and kind of pushing for sustainability throughout whole society, especially through companies and kind of every day. Yes.